Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is part 3 of the Mark Levinson interview. So much more to give you. 2+ hours, as I mentioned before. But this particular section I wanted to carve out that has to do with the speakers and also some things that he has to deal with in terms of this line, how conducive it is to dealers, and some challenges that he has to address and overcome. Because I think this is very good to get this insight, this very frank and behind the scenes type information on both the speakers and why these speakers are a little bit different than your typical audiophile speakers from the standpoint of using pro audio driver kind of advantages, the high excursion, the high efficiency, and bringing the advantages of pro audio into an audiophile refinement and package and all-in-one solution. If you pair it with their electronics, should be a great match, and I can't wait to hear it. And that's what we talk about in this video. That's why I'm trying to release this before I go to Munich, because while I'm in Munich, I might get a chance to hear these elusive M1s that aren't that plentiful out there right now, and that's his no holds barred speaker. And also he talks about, gives you a little bit behind the scenes of what challenges he's having to deal with Daniel Hertz and certain dealers, what they, you know, why it's a difficult sell, because it's so innovative in terms of providing one solution, less cabling, less electronics, less profitability, so that dealers may not be as amenable to that are more focused on the profit motive. So I think that this is a very interesting part, but there's going to be a lot more to come on the actual electronics. I know people want me to get to the C-Wave, the health benefits, all the juicy stuff. Don't worry, it's to come, but probably will be when I come back from Munich on the 19th and the tour of Italy. So stay tuned, guys. Enjoy this part.
Sure.
Having everything combined with your electronics and your speakers, I think is something it's a risk in the industry, because a lot of companies don't do that and don't promote the advantages of it. But I applaud you for taking that risk and that model, because for most people, that's going to be the better option. And especially, I like what you're doing with your speakers, using maybe, again, elements of the pro audio world that are good, putting them in a package, and maybe elaborating on that is where I was really impressed with your stuff.
Thank you. Well, first of all, you know the importance of efficiency?
Mm-hmm.
What is the importance of efficiency?
Yeah, you get more production from less. You don't burn off your watts as heat, you know, and you get more free.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's the thing. There's only two things you can do with electrical energy: create sound or heat. And the lower the efficiency of a speaker, the more of the music becomes heat and you don't hear it. So instead of this, you get this. And, you know, and if we're looking for that vitality that you get from live music, then you don't want to throw away energy. But efficiency kind of got lost again from economics. In the early days of audio, they had these big, you know, like big old Altec Voice of the theaters and the big old JBLs, the big high efficiency speakers. Guess what? They're expensive to make. They need big cabinets and all the rest of it. So then amplifiers got more powerful. Hey guys, instead of a 2-watt amp, we have a 5-watt or a 10-watt or a 25-watt or a 75-watt. Oh, guess what? We can make these speakers less expensive and smaller and get the same volume, same sound pressure level. So speakers got smaller and cheaper and smaller and cheaper and smaller and cheaper. Amplifiers got more and more powerful. And look what happened. Look at the mess. So the first speaker that Daniel Hertz developed was the M1, which is still in production. It was developed in 2009 and was first introduced in 2010. And the M1s today are pretty much the same as we built then. No changes. The drivers were designed by Mike O'Neill. Mike, like Skip, is a visionary American audio guy who was head of Electro-Voice for many years, Electro-Voice engineering for many years, and designed pro audio drivers. And I said, Mike, can you design some drivers for me that are high efficiency and also have the most natural sound? Right. Because that's it, right? I mean, residential sound was more about, it's like warm, clear, friendly sound, and pro audio was dynamics and punch and all the rest of it. Well, he said he would, so he did, and then that's how the M1 got designed, and then we went sort of from there. The M1 drivers are 100 dB, 1 watt, 8 ohms. They'll take 4,000 watts per channel per speaker if you had that power. Nobody wants that, but you could. And they have just amazing specs. They're beast drivers. But the beauty is that at low levels, there's no stress. No stress. The sound is, no stress at all. When you pluck a guitar string, so, and because the music I like the most tends to be soft. Anyway, like I'm a student of Indian classical music for 55 years. And Indian instruments are very fragile and soft, they're not loud. And the beauty is in the harmonics and the overtones and the special timbre. The drums, you're like, you have to hear the fingers on the leather of the tabla, and it's all that stuff. And the victory of the M1 was in being able to reproduce those very, very subtle, particular, delicate sounds, as well as the most powerful dynamic information known to man, and everything in between. So you're really free to listen to anything, any repertoire, any genre, whatever. But high efficiency is only part of it. There's a lot of other things. And of course, not many people have the money to buy an M1 or the space. So the idea was, well, how can we give people some of that juice for less money? And the Amber Midnight is in the current lower cost full range product that is a 10-inch coaxial driver. Tannoy has been building coaxial driver speakers for 100 years. Principle's good. So it's sort of built their own version with, and that's kind of a Best Buy. Has a lot of great qualities, but the driver is 97 dB efficient, 8 ohms on watt.
That's a lot.
And that's it. But when you listen to it, though, first let's say, well, the Martin Logans, right?
Yes.
What do we like about Martin Logans? Well, they might not have the most powerful bass or the most punch or dynamics, but there's something we love about them. There's some kind of a transparency, some kind of a, that detail.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about. That we like that. We just like that.
Yeah.
Well, M1s sound like that. They just sound like that with that repertoire. No box sound, very detailed, very delicate, transparent. Of course, they have these other qualities too. But the M1 just kind of glues together a lot of different things in one speaker. And that was my dream. My original dream was to make something like that. And now I'm 77 years old, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with the M1, and I feel like mission accomplished. I don't know of any way to make it better. So, it's pretty much what it is.
Will you be demoing at any shows so people can hear the M1 and the entire system? I did hear it in Montreal, the smaller one, with Audio Connection. Adrian gave a presentation, great presentation.
The Chiara?
Yeah, I believe so.
That was the Chiara.
Yeah.
Chiara is an 8-inch woofer with a aerostriction tweeter.
Yeah.
That's far away from an M1. An
Right. That's
M1
what I'm
has
wondering.
an 18-inch, a 12-inch, and a compression driver tweeter. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, that's the one I
That's
want
like
to
an
hear.
F1.
Where can I hear that?
Well, you know, they'll probably be coming. The problem is that, first of all, and this is something I just have to apologize for, is that Daniel Hertz is a very small company, and we don't have the resources of a big company, at least not yet. And we can only make so many products a month and only do so many things. And, we can't finance stores. We can't build showrooms all over the place. Imagine us as a maker of instruments. Let's say we make classical guitars in Venice. Well, if people want to see what we do, they can come and see one and visit us. But we can't just we're not Yamaha. We can't put them all over in all these stores all over the place. It doesn't work like that. And right now, we need to spend our money to fill orders. We're back ordered. People wait a couple months to get our products. We need to build enough for the people that have purchased it. And going to shows and trying to sell more just makes the matters worse. And we just have to grow organically and slowly and hope that those people who are interested will either come to us or maybe go somewhere where there is an M1. But there will be soon M1s coming, but not many. It's not really an industrial, it's not really a commercial. Again, it's an artisanal product, it's not something that's made in any kind of quantity. And I can't. It's just a limitation I have. And I don't think there's a solution for it. I think it has to stay small by definition. And that's really kind of the best I can do. My interest is not really to sell products. My interest is to make them and hope that those people who have interest will come and listen or whatever they want to do. We're getting so many people buying sight unseen, sight unheard, send the money, they get their product a couple months later. Everybody's happy. That, it's amazing. I didn't think that might be possible, but it's happening. And I'm very grateful for that. But and again, it's hard to find stores that would really like to carry Daniel Hertz and represent it the right way. Because I'll give you an example. Interconnect cables are a big profit center,
Yeah.
right?
You're
Big
going to
profit center.
cannibalize their business. Yeah.
So what happens? Uh-oh. Or DAX, selling expensive DAX. Oh, well, we don't need one. What? That's another profit center gone. And so forth. It's like, what? What are you doing? So, well, I can't help it. That's just sort of what we're doing. So it's not the easiest product line to integrate into a typical traditional high-end audio store because it breaks the business model. And what are you going to tell people when they listen and they say, there's no digital sound? There's no digital sound here. Oh, that's true. Well, what about the other stuff you sell? Well, they don't have this. Oh, well, that's kind of a deal breaker. And there's all these deal breakers going on. A store would have to say, look, Daniel Hertz is very different. It's disruptive, but we'll show you what it really is and you decide what you want. But a lot of people are going to feel threatened. They're going to feel like I'm not trying to threaten anyone or be negative. I'm just trying to make things better. But in the process, look what happened. So I'm just not sure. Really, I'm not sure what to do. Maybe some of your people who follow you will have some suggestions and say, hey, Mark, I got an idea for you. I don't know. But
well, I have one idea.
Again,
you're in Italy? Is the M1 in Italy? I'm going to be in Italy the week after Munich coming up. Most of
man, come and see me. Come and see me.
Most of my
right
schedule is booked, but you've intrigued me enough where I'm going to try to fit this in. We'll be in touch. And if I can get in front of an M1 and do this, I would love to do it if it works in your.
Please. Absolutely. I'll help get you over here. if you're in Venice, I mean, we're 10 minutes from San Marco, 9 minutes. I mean, it's so close. If you're in Venice, you really should. I mean, let's say I invite you to come.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely.
And I'll try to make this happen. It's rare that I get to Italy and get this chance, and certainly I'm definitely intrigued to hear the entire system the way you want it and that you're happy with, because I was impressed.